Hey!
Hello.
What
Oh,
the heck?
what the damn hex to you?
We gotta own what the heck.
What the hex? Sounds like a
Welcome
sneeze.
everybody. Exactly. Episode 5. Man. Let's let Papa B, since it's just us, let's just take a breather, like a Hex is pumping, and we got our own freaking show on Discourse Syndicate, the main Hex YouTube channel.
Pew,
Wow.
pew, pew, pew.
Pew. And the bosses don't even watch us. They don't even know we're doing this.
We're underground type of broadcasting. We've taken on. We've ripped this little hole in the whole blanket, and we're creeping inside like a bed bug. We are there, on the cusp of the great exciting things that seem to be happening in the Hex community. People coming out of like their coffins are opening and they're rising from the dead, saying, "Hey, what? I heard that we're pumping. Is the bear market over? Am I out of my sleepy time?"
Exactly. I even saw a tweet from Rack Rochelle today. Like everybody's coming. Everybody's coming back out the woodwork.
That's a true rise from the grave. Please let's not.
Yeah.
Don't say the name 3 times.
So let me say hi to the chat real quick. We've got Nom Nom first, man. So one day when Nom Nom is not first, do we need to call his local authorities, or
that's a topping indication? Actually,
something might be wrong. Yeah, he sold his bag and has left us. Then the top is in. Exactly. We got DJ and Dougie, we got SE, Hex and SB, Footsteps, Avalon in the house, Hex on air, Red Squirrel with the oink oink.
Oh,
what is that? This is a hamster show.
This is the yes. It's the unkosher sentiment is much appreciated by me. Yes, yes.
Not halal. Hex in effect is here. Hexicans.
Hello.
Guys is Bro Trader is back. Melf Tony with the price updates. I mean, look at this beauty. Just look at it.
That's an ostrich formation, which I like a lot.
Yeah, it's building a parabola. We just want to go too long sideways here, I guess, to not fall out of it again. But that's looking very strong. And if you manage to accumulate down here somewhere, you already made a 2x, a 3x and a bit, something like that. So that's the power of Hex. Once it goes, it just goes. But it took forever and a day to finally pump.
To shake out the last seller, right? The last dumper.
Last dumper. And
so they cannot get in again at that same weight. So congratulations to us.
And there's still lots of stable coin, lots of big amounts sitting in stable coins, and they will have it harder and harder as this go on to get back in. And the liquidity is moving. We're a bit stagnating here. There was also this picture here, which I'm not too, it's kind of like a buying support wall, but we have these things come and go. Like this, seen these come and go. This is not necessarily a guarantee that, but it looks like it's protecting the 5 cent price with a ginormous liquidity pool here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I think it goes until 5.5, 5.6 now. Isn't that correct? And then it kind of drops off until 11 cents. Somebody wise in this whole game of liquidity put in some kind of pool between 5.6 and 11. So it's very interesting.
Little pockets of liquidity at 7 cents, at 11, exactly. Yeah, so that could give us an indicator. I've also seen like a scam wick that went all the way to 12 cents yesterday and back down again, which in the past used to be indicators of where this is possibly going, but then again, we can't give forward moving price statements
No,
here.
no.
We're also not
wait.
in the
Where do you see
prediction
this?
business.
Can you please proof of Scamwick? Can you see that? Because if you're looking at Dex Screener on Staker app, it's always glitchy and it's not really.
That's where I saw it. Yeah.
That's where you saw. I knew it.
So take that with a grain of salt. But back in the
Yeah.
day, this used to be.
I've seen Scamwicks in that app that look like
Yeah.
24 cents, and it's
Yeah.
nowhere else. So just cool your jets. It's not. Yeah.
No, but this is pretty cool. And then I wanted to tie up one loose end from last Thursday's show. It's just a shame that Peter is not here now, because
He'll get
remember
here. He's
when
just-
we were
It's on Peter
trying,
time, that's all.
yeah, remember when we're trying to figure out, do the math on how long this syncing of the Aragon validator might take for pulls, and we came up with like 150 days or so, which would have been midish May. But at the same time, someone was tweeting this here, but this is concerning Ethereum now, not pulls, but the stage 7, actually, the hold on, here in the stage 7, this is where Richard posted this screenshot.
Yep.
That's the longest stage. So that takes
Oh.
90 hours, which is like 4 days-ish. And then the rest, what's still to come, goes much faster.
Where's the rest? Where's 14, 15, and 16, please?
Good question. I don't know.
Scroll down.
Oh, it's down here. It's down here. So it's half an hour, 45 minutes.
Well, okay. Negligible amounts of time.
Any stats on stages 15 and 16, if it's not there, it's because it was very fast. So.
Oh, okay then.
2 terabytes.
Well, a good resource to actually help you to kind of unravel it. I said it on the last show. I'll say it again. It's Gamma DevOps on YouTube.
Yes.
Gamma DevOps picks it apart. He'll tell you what he thinks. He'll help you understand these little, technical portions of the syncing up of the servers and the nodes. So please take a look at his channel. He's just starting out. Incredible guy. Hi, Sandy Beach. You made it.
Here.
Now we can start over again for her because she's late. Let's start again. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Hey,
we're pumping.
JFK is here too.
Look at this. Yeah, all right.
Stake is perpetually Scamwick. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Wait. Can we just lavish in this just for one more moment? I need to.
Yes.
I'm old. I need the joy has to sink in, wash over me just a little bit more. Where were you last time we were at this type of price back in the day? Can you remember what we were doing way back when it was?
Oh, like where were you
on the way up? Yes,
when the 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Well, this was, let me think. This was when I started my Twitch channel. That's what I was doing. So that's pretty much 2 years ago, I want to say, because New Year's Eve 20 to 21, for the first time, we broke 1.5 to 2 cents.
Yep.
And then we came down again. And then, January, February, March of 21, we started pumping. Nice. And then pumping even more. Around that time, the pulse chain sacrifice was announced. And then I actually started buying HEX again at 5 cents just to have something liquid for the pulse chain sacrifice, which then I made a good deal on that because that doubled. That went from 5 cents to 12 cents. And that's then when the SAC started. So I made a good deal on that. No financial advice. But that was the days when before pulse chain SAC in the spring of 21. That's when we were at those prices. What do you remember with this?
Well, I just thought of the idea of the full circle, or the full cycle, we should say, back to here. And I didn't compare the price the price I used as a benchmark to see how many HEX I had at that time.
Yes.
Hey Peter, welcome.
Hey, Peter.
So I noticed that the contract is working flawlessly, and I was amazed at the amount of HEX that had now grown with my staking. My staking ladder had grown in hex terms, and it was only what a year and a bit ago, right?
Yes.
And it's true. It worked just fine. I got a whole bunch more hex, and now with this pump, it means so much more to one's portfolio having staked through it. So just in case anybody's saying, "Oh, staking's lame, you have to have it all liquid," staking ladder to me is the way to go. Just be prepared for these things. And if I would have had it all unlocked, obviously along the way, anything could have happened. I wouldn't have enjoyed those appreciation in terms of volume.
I mean, we were coming just out of the big payday, basically. And so that even if you were just a short staker, you still got at least 20 or 30% more coins from that back then, which was a one-off event. And basically the distribution of the unclaimed hex from the Bitcoin free claimers was distributed among the stakers. So for all these things, it's always important to be staked. Also, many of these airdrops that we've seen during the past year, you could really only materialize on if you had actually stakes. And the more stakes and the longer stakes, the better in some cases. T-shirts, yes. All about the T-shirts, baby. So yeah, interesting. And now coming back out of this, hopefully, that the bear market is behind us, 1.5 years. And if you were staked during all of this time, like I think all three of us, that's a good amount of additional hex we were collecting over this time. And now the question is, are we stagnating up here, or will it continue to pump further? I mean,
continue to pump, of course. I guarantee it. No, not financial advice. I cannot guarantee anything. I don't know. No one knows.
Cryptomatic depends on
the FOMO pants.
If the Lord will speak to us again,
Yes, it's Wednesday. Usually Wednesday he tweets. So, and he did yesterday. Two little ones. It's Thursday today. Yeah. So probably have to wait.
It's Wednesday until he tweets, and then it'll be Thursday.
But I've seen liquidity come back in, which might mean that we're taking a little bit of a breather here. So liquidity in the hex went as down as 50, is now back to almost 90 million. I know Peter doesn't want to hear that, but that's just has a direct impact on price, obviously.
Where are you getting that number of $90 million of liquidity? 90
million hex.
Hex, okay.
Hex, not dollars, hex.
Right. In dollar terms, on the other side of the pair, it reached around 10 and a bit at the high point, and then it dropped down to 8 around the low point. So people are finding that little balancing act going on there.
And tons of people have emergency unstaked again last night. So we're up for another juicy payout today.
Hooray!
Which is maybe also an indicator that these people believe to know something that we all don't. I don't know. And then there is
nobody knows shit. Everyone is just guesstimating.
Yes, except for Peter.
And
he knows that complaining is the way to do it.
This disturbing news with the SEC. There are 3 things that could happen, and this is supposed to happen. There's another one here, like 2-3 hours after our stream. The SEC is supposed to come out on some balcony. And
they put the holy rug out, and they're like, "Hey, everyone,"
and ring a bell, and either say one of 3 things. One, that Kraken, which was under investigation for selling some kind of shitcoin, which was unregistered, that they have settled on a deal, which would be positive. It could be something new with the Ripple lawsuit, that they have come to a conclusion of their loose ends, or it could be what the CEO Brian Armstrong of Coinbase fears, that the SEC is about to ban staking providers. Now, not staking coins or whatever, but staking providers for US customers to protect them, of course, which would be another result of the FTX and Celsius debacle. What is it with your government that it's always after shit happened they come out and ban the shit.
Yeah, it's like the
When
horses
everybody
get out
had
of the
already
barn.
lost their
Yeah.
money.
Horses are well out of the barn, and then they think about closing the doors. And
Yeah.
that's where we are in the barn, scratching our heads, saying, "Wait a minute, does anybody smell smoke?"
It's bullshit. Nothing will happen.
Nothing will
What
happen.
it, what
Well,
it,
Or,
what is
or a
what is
giant
more
nothing burger.
important? What
Yes.
is more important that the Lord of the Universe, the Holy Jerome Powell, said that maybe they will start printing this year.
We like that.
Yeah, it happened yesterday, and everything went. Oh no, or not yesterday, the day before, I think.
DJ Cryptomatic, get me out of this top right corner, please.
Oh, you
Give
don't
Pete
like the
damn top right. There you go. Peter likes to be right next to the logo.
Next to the BS logo.
BS.
Yeah, BS.
With my BS shirt.
BS channel.
More BS to you, the
So,
viewer.
if any news is important, then it's about our master of the universe, Jerome Powell, and the guardian
And his
guardian
money
of the
printer.
printers.
Yes, it's two-faced, right? The printing, we don't want to leave a bunch of debt to future generations, but then again, it's pumping out. It's pumping.
No one cares about the
The
future
markets.
generations. Just the zeros will be just crossed out. No, nobody cares. Don't
All
worry.
right. We're in Hex anyway, so don't be in fiat, guys.
What a nice sentiment from Denise on chat, guys. Take a look. Can we highlight this nice
one?
Denise, not Finbit. Hello, Denise. Come on, Denise herself, please.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Look.
Good morning, Papa B. Always good to see you. Glad you have your own stream now with your crew. That's what it is.
It's my stream. You hear that? You hear that, Peter? You hear that, DJ Cryptomatic?
What did he say? Huh? Can't hear you.
The brig stinks today. This is terrible down there.
Are you done cleaning down there?
I haven't cleaned it yet.
So
give me my bilge pump.
Speaking of Papa B, I wanted to give you another opportunity to shill. To shill your episode 2 of the security Twitter Spaces.
Are you inviting me to shill? Are you inviting? Yes. By the way,
show a clip.
You shut up. I am Shill Silverstein, sir. I am Sylvester Stallone. I will chill.
Good job on the Jim Rat Crypto show yesterday. I really enjoyed that one. Now I've prepared a little video clip because you had the first security roundtable discussion, right? Last week on Thursday, and you had a fantastic opening speech in there, which I clipped a little bit together, and I wanted to play this on the show today now because it's a message that cannot be heard often enough. It was so passionate. It was very presidential. So it's like 3 minutes, so bear with us, guys, but check this out.
Order. What the hex? The impetus for this meeting being called, I'm mad as hell and I don't want to take it anymore. A lot of you know and experience firsthand in the Telegram chat the heartbreak on a daily basis of people getting rinsed in our community. And I'm starting to hear this sentiment, this laissez-faire attitude, or this malaise starting to kind of take over at a time when people start to see some green shoots. The price is starting to go up on Hex, and people start to think about, onboarding again and building up our numbers. And the answer is getting more people interested in Hex and Pulse Chain. This is going to be great. Just double, triple our efforts, and it'll naturally expand and multiply, and we'll all be, a much bigger and better community. Well, the answer is we had a hole in our bucket last bull run. And the hole in our bucket was our community getting siphoned off to attackers. And I, for one, know of, hold on a second. In the last bull run, we printed hundreds of millionaires. But I know for a fact, in my estimate, that 13 of those millionaires, if you work out the average,
were actually attackers that didn't earn it. About $13 million of losses is what we witnessed, both high profile and a lot of people DMing me on a daily basis, sometimes 3 at a time, every day, telling me that they had lost funds. And it's not just HEX, it's everything that was in their wallets. And yes, just like you guys were talking about, a lot of that was just contract interaction, bad front ends, posting their keys, phishing attacks, luring attacks, getting them to trust somebody that appeared to be an admin. All this stuff culminated in a loss to our community of about $13 million, 4 of which could be attributed to HEX 19 in one single bad call after another. So I'll tell you this. We have it within our community. We have a lot of very important resources here. We have it within our community, the talent, the experience, the knowledge to put into action kind of a codified set of rules that will now be our best practices. I hear it too often now, people just casually using the term best practices when they have nothing better else to say on their stream, or there's dead air in the chat. They simply say, you know what? Hardware wallets are too inconvenient for people to get their heads around, but you should really just obey best practices and you'll be fine. Well, that shows that the person has no concept of any kind of tablet on which the rules of best practices are etched. And it's up to us, starting today, to get at those rules. Before I go outside and start giving these non-scalable little bits of help, to all these outsiders, I'd much rather spend my time, getting these rules together so I can just point everyone inside and out of our community to what we believe is right. So today I propose...
Give yourselves a fucking oof!
What
Yeah,
the hex?
So what
Well
did you
edited.
propose and how did it go?
we got oh my gosh. First of all, it's funny hearing that over again. Second of all, I do remember getting up on the tank and dressing up like RG3.
Yes.
Um,
We're passionate.
We've established, so the first meeting was very interesting. It was kind of like I said, getting our sea legs, right? A lot of very smart people, white hats, ethical hackers, forensic specialists, outside salespeople like myself, a lot of people with hands-on experience through like 20, we probably had several centuries worth of experience in that chat. And with that comes egos, right? And I said it later in that little rant. I said, much like the "we are the world" concept of checking your ego at the door. I pledge to that, but some kind of seep through. People speak in meta, trying to shill what they're doing first. They come in and they want to talk about their projects, but that really is not the platform to do it. So we had to kind of rule with an iron fist to kind of say, no, this is different. And I'm glad to say that most people just took that in and said, oh, I kind of get it now, and they stuck through the entire 2-hour meeting. Hats off to Jexa for being a really good sport in that regard, because he has a lot to say. He's a very smart guy, great security knowledge that we can get from him always. And it was kind of like everybody getting up to speed on the freeway and traveling at 50, 65 miles an hour, whatever it's going to be. And it worked. So the rules that we established were kind of like thrown out there almost randomly to try to set things up. The rule of the game was going to be, you can say what you want to say, something that's on your mind that's current. We can explore that as a group, and then you have to pass the microphone to somebody else. But before you do, you can suggest for public consumption and to be seconded in the group a rule that is the way things must be in our best practices. A good, better, best approach would be better. For example, I put it out there about backing up your seeds and your passphrases. There's a good, better, best approach, and we can agree on that. Before the next meeting, which will be a week from today, I will have those published and posted up in the nest of the meeting so everyone can actually look at them and comment them. It'll be a bit more organized. So we got the whole ego thing out of the way. We're all speaking at the same rate and the same method. And now we're going to actually truly make it a round table. And that will be with a code that we examine, we debate over, we distill what our best practices truly are. And then we point the community to those. So if any community member that's on stream or off starts to say, just follow best practices, they should be able to quote chapter and verse on our code.
So that is like the end game to produce a, I don't know, 10 or 20, the 10 hex security commandments. Like,
yeah, well, it won't
number
be
one,
10.
get a hardware wallet. Number
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
don't get high on your own supply. That's
yes, exactly. Everything from Scarface, and then we just built on that as a
yeah,
base.
on number 11. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but that's still a great message. And I know we showed this picture already on Tuesday's show, but this is from Shillem the Foe. And I find this very impressive coming from him because, he's the meme guy on Twitter and is all about making jokes and poking fun at people. But if even him, goes into so much detail there to set up his hardware security and make sure to have his seed phrase stamped in metal on the washers and all that, that should tell you something, really.
Yeah. And by the way, this is a heartwarming type of thing to see as well. The fact that somebody's taking this and then showing their method out, making sure that it's okay. Really, it's sexy again to be secure, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah, that's it.
I always used to say, talking about security is never sexy, right? But a good security posture is what is going to keep you sexy. So Shillem Dafoe is showing the world, doing it right, going to keep his stuff. And it's responsibility within the community, because if you get rinsed, that shit goes to an attacker, and that attacker dumps the price on our heads, right?
Yes.
So
that's the key takeaway.
Yep. Oh, and I'm sorry, one more thing, because you brought up Scarface. Isn't one of the commandments, don't underestimate the other guy's greed, right?
That's a very good one.
I think that's going to be one of our commandments, right? I'll definitely bring that up on the next.
I mean, there's Scarface, but there's also the song by Notorious B.I.G., the 10 Crack Commandments, which is produced by DJ Premier. I think that one is sticking more in my head when it comes to the 10 countdown, but one of them on both is definitely don't get high on your own supply. But crack wasn't even around during the Scarface days.
Right. And by the way, there are going to be, we're not going to have just 10 commandments. There's going to be lots of commandments, and it's going to be something that we can export to other communities, because people come to me now from outside of the Hexican community, outside of the Polskin community, and they just hear that we're doing, good work as a community, keeping people safe and really prioritizing that more than other communities with passing on free knowledge. I tell you this, when I first got into crypto, and we went through the Sia Coin Hack. Do you guys remember what this was? Do you remember on Binance?
I know Sia Coin, but not the hack. No.
Okay, I'll explain the intricacies of it on the next roundtable. But
shitcoin connoisseur.
Yeah, well, no, check this out. No. It wasn't that you had to actually buy into the shitcoin. The idea was that it was an exploit on the API front, right? So if you would have ever had an API connection to the website, which, by the way, I recommend that you never, ever, ever have any API or APK type of connectivity between your wallet and the site, or your machine and the site, ever. Even if you're downloading all of your previous interactions with the centralized exchange just to do your taxes on like Coinly or something, always download the CSV file and then upload it directly into Coinly once it's on your machine. Never any connection. The Sia Coin Hack was incredible. So let's say that you have HEX. Well, this is fictitious because obviously Binance never supported HEX, but let's just say that you had HEX in your wallet at the time. Okay. Any number of coins. So the Sia hack was the attacker went and bought up a whole bunch of this Sia coin, shitcoin that just got released. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what they did was they had a huge ton of it, right? Suddenly bought it up. And then in your wallet, you've got HEX. Now, through the connection exploit, they were able to
clear out,
commandeer your account and get you to sell your HEX for Sia coin, right? And then that pumps the price up, right? All these people simultaneously that were infected within the system, everything, every last token that you have in your wallet gets dumped into Sia coin. Huge green candle. No one's expecting it because Sia was like just
and then pump
nothing.
and dump.
And then they dump their huge bag into Ethereum and then make off with the Ethereum, leaving you robbed without them even entering into your safe.
Now I remember that. Yeah.
Boom. And you
creative.
know what? Creative, exceptionally creative, excellently executed, right? And truly it had Binance reeling. They're like, what's going on? This is where the funds or Seifu fund came from.
That's where that came from. Yeah, exactly.
But they covered it manually. They're like, we think we stopped the leak. The attacker didn't get the money off of our exchange in time. We think so, right? The point I'm trying to make is when I went to the chat group that I was in at the time on Discord, I went in there and I said, oh my God, I was like shaking. I'm like, it wasn't a lot of money that had been done, but I was hit, right? And I had never connected up with the site through API. So that's why I think that it's just their system got hacked and they didn't want to admit it because I never connected. But I did get robbed. I got like 10 grand, right, worth of tokens that I had on the exchange. That's not nothing, right?
No.
So I went into this group that I was active in and I said, guys, you have to know there's this exploit. It just got done. I never made this purchase. And all sorts of people are saying right now that they got scammed like this too. I mean, totally robbed. And you know what the reaction was from these like 30, 40 people that were active in that chat? You know what the reaction was?
What they say?
Dude, sucks for you. Anyway, let's talk about getting rich.
It's that compassion, right? That heartfelt.
Yeah.
And we want to be different in HEX.
Well, that's what motivates me. That's what motivated me. Having that type of in the HEX community, if someone comes to me and they have hundreds of people over the last 2 years have come to me, do I ever want that feeling to be what?
Because they are in a very bad space at that very
seriously bad. I mean, these people have been robbed, or they suspect that they've been robbed, or they're frustrated because they can't get something to work. The last thing that any of our community members should ever say is, I'm busy. I'm not going to help you. I'm more interested in something over there. Yeah.
So all that is happening on the Twitter Spaces Security Roundtable. Follow Papa B for and
also
Twitter
HEX Hangout. Follow HEX Hangout. He'll also be tweeting it out. Yes.
Give a quick shout out to Nardo for the win. What's up, champ? Seen you around in a while. I was actually worried because his Twitter was gone. There was no messages. Wasn't responding. So I was really concerned for your safety, sir. But it's great to see you back. And I tried to reach out to people, and nobody know where he went and where he left. But now he's back. So
okay. Can I please put a epilogue on this tale just really quick?
Yeah.
It was Binance, and Binance actually made good. They replayed all those transactions. They knew exactly which ones had gotten robbed, and they refunded everybody every penny. Of course, I took all my money off of Binance after that.
Safu.
Nice. But it wasn't the brunt of whether I had everything that I really cared about was already backed up on a hardware wallet.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
which is commandment number 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's look at the liquidity. Let's talk liquidity because I get
already.
annoyed about this.
We did that already, but we can do it again.
Well, now
You
it's
did
Peter's
it.
turn.
Now it's
You did
Peter's.
it.
Now you get Peter's take on it.
Have you shown this? Have you shown
Yes.
this one? Yes.
Of course.
So
what
why
do
do
we see
people
here?
not understand that these lines are basically like liquidity at some price point, and as the price moves, the hex pool gets bigger or smaller or bigger or smaller. So somehow people are looking at something like uphex.win, and they see, oh, there is only like 52 million hex left, and that's actually not bullish. Because as the liquidity shrinks, there is up here there is liquidity, but very thin. No one with brains would buy here because they will move the price against themselves. Too much.
So the key is then, Peter, you buy at the edge of the plateau when it's on a momentum swing that's going to go to the actual portions of low liquidity, so it burns right through them, so you don't have to worry about slippage.
Basically, maybe, but
now we did all this moon boy talk, and here comes Peter the Bear.
Everything would be
Yes.
If somehow a big portion of liquidity, like from here to here, appeared, I would say, okay, like yeah, it looks good, but yeah, there is like 50k hex. I don't know. That's like $2,000 at this price range at 5.4 USDC. Nah.
But couldn't you say that, like, with this big of a buy wall here, because it's a single-sided liquidity, the 5 cent is protected until someone pulls that?
Or until it gets filled, then it turns into hex, or the hex turns into USDC,
but it's giant.
Well, that's good, and it stayed here for I don't know, for a few days.
Yeah,
and of course the liquidity providers that they add and withdraw liquidity all can be seen up here. So unless someone shows me like someone added liquidity here in this column, you're talking crap.
All right, got it.
So
you heard it here first.
This matters, adds and removes, or unless someone. This is very interesting. Someone we took $0 and 0 hex.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, someone's position was 0.0 something.
Sandy Beach, I think it's a typo. You missed one so. It's Peter is so smart.
So smart.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than one so, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. In Hex, we don't trust. We verify shit.
Yeah. Right. I have to see the math.
Another loose end we have to tie up is from our first episode. And this segment is called Let's Open the John Wick Files. Because it was a
down
fucking logo. It was a question from Bob Leguy, or not a question, it was more a statement or a suggestion of his that there shouldn't be good accounting on stakes before they have fully bled out. So we tried to get John Wick on the show, who's infamous in the community for good accounting, spending tons of money on Ethereum to good account OA stakes. And due to timing issues, we couldn't get him live on the show, but we had the opportunity last week to interview him in private in the green room, and I took some notes of what he was saying.
This is maybe you interviewed John Wick, and maybe someone that was impersonating him. We don't know.
Maybe it wasn't even him. Hold on, stop share, reshare. But it was someone who sounded like him. So let's open the John Wick files. Can you see it? No, now you can see it. So, I mean, this is all me in my German mind, because I was hoping that someone who's a native speaker could run through this spreadsheet. But what do we have here? Number one, and that's a distinction that Bob Lagai didn't make, was that there is a big difference between OA stakes who have expired and, of course, anyone's good old pleb mini stakes. So Bob Lagai is correct in saying that those should be fully bled out and then good accounted for. So then the staker class receives the penalties, and the TJs come back into the system, into the pool. But that's the other thing important to know. The penalties, again, are not paid out on a daily basis from expired stakes. They are accumulated in the contract, and you only actually get the payout once someone runs the good accounting function or unstakes them. And secondly, he also said that his focus there when he did that was purely on stakes which had massive amounts of T-shares, hundreds of thousands of T-shares. Am I correct so far in regurgitating these arguments?
Peter, the proofreader?
Yes.
Peter
And
concurs.
he also spends a lot of time before he would good account, or that's a suggestion, before someone presses good accounting, runs a good accounting function to investigate the past wallet behavior of that wallet holder. Who is that? Was he a notorious seller or not, etc., which also is part of the strategy to good account a stake or not. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't think this would be a monologue of mine, but okay. Positive outlook on the HEX.
Well, make
future.
Peter read one. Go ahead, Peter. You're next. Go.
No.
Okay, back to you, DJ
But
Cooking
Peter, you said you apologized and that he was correct, because at first you said
Show me the math.
that
Yes.
John Wick should show the math, and
Yes.
damn sure we showed the math.
But the funny thing was that John Wick didn't show the math. Elmeyer did.
Elmeyer showed the math.
So
And Elmeyer isn't here today. He could have shown you the
We
math.
actually
on-
had prepared a spreadsheet for today's show, but he was called last minute into a meeting.
So all the glory should go to Elmeyer, to be honest.
But we can adjourn that, and once Elmeyer comes back, we can go and revisit this. But we also asked him what he's thinking about HEX. Is HEX over, or has HEX a bright future? And of course, he's saying that he sees a very bright future. And the longer that HEX is around and the smart contract is running, and in that sense, the longer the OA proves to be this benevolent actor, the better it is for the system, and the more stupider the HEX haters and OA critics will look. And he also thought that it was a good thing in the end that Pulse Chain didn't launch last year, because with this crazy inflation that's happening in almost every country in the world, this, you have to look at it as kind of a piggy bank, because he said if this would have come out, everybody would have just dumped and ran for the exit doors. That was his exact words, and would absolutely murder that Pulse Chain price chart. And if this is starting now, once we're almost out, or if we're out of the bear market, this has a much better chance of being the fantastic success that we all hope that it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, there is nothing to not agree with.
I like the term Slaughterfest.
Slaughterfest. That's what he
That's
said.
after Oktoberfest, isn't it?
It's in November, yes. Then we have this weekend. Hold on, where's my? Oh, here it is. Chrome tab. Where is it?
I
Here
like
it
the
is.
logo on Peter's face. That's the best. It's like he's a BS man.
The Super Bowl is happening.
That's super.
So I'm an Eagles guy, and the other team is the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think, Papa B?
Well, I think the Eagles are an overrated band from the 70s. And I think one, if not all of the members are dead. So I don't like the Eagles. I would rather have the other team.
You're the Kansas, but Kansas, that's like the flyover country, isn't it?
Flyover country? It's a city. Kansas City. And they're
Going
and
to
their name is the
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Kansas City, here I come.
That's right. That's
Paul
a good
McCartney
song.
sang that. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wait, he
either way-
covered it. He covered it.
did,
The actual, you can't attribute that to a white man. That is like one of the best jazz, that is one of the biggest breakthrough pieces of pre-rock and roll that
It's
ever
rock and roll.
was. Yes, you can't give that
They
to Paul
have a
McCartney.
whole bunch of pretty women there. I'm going to get me one.
Yes. That's like the granddaddy of rock right there. It's beautiful.
The reason I bring this up is because it was rumored, as we said as well on Tuesday, that there's going to be a Pulse Chain ad. And then there was another news item being mentioned that the Super Bowl people have now banned all and any crypto advertising for this year's Super Bowl. So once again, thank you, FTX, for fucking up our shit.
And by the way, Fats Domino did that. I think it was still we have to set the record straight, so to speak. The record straight, DJ Cryptomatic. Set the record straight.
Yes.
Do you know who was the first person to record that Kansas City?
Fats Domino.
Fats Domino was one, but the original, we have Wilbert Harrison, 1959. Fats Domino was before that, I think. But I think Wilbert Harrison was the first of the doo-wops that did that.
Right.
Back in, when was this? Let's take a look at the actual first recording. We have to pay respect where respect is certainly due. Here we go. Willie Littlefield. That's it.
Hey guys, Richard is tweeting about local cryptos. How you should withdraw your money
from Kraken
your coins.
Yes. Sandy Beach has got it, by the way. Sandy Beach, thank you very much. Wilbert Harrison. But before that, in 1952, it was Little Willie Littlefield. 1959 was Wilbert Harrison, who made it a hit.
So Richard is going with the notion that the SEC announcement will be about staking providers, which is bullish for HEX because we are not a middleman provider situation like a Celsius.
Yep.
You know,
and there is no lending in our protocol.
Nothing. We are the true staking.
The true DeFi.
The true and only DeFi, exactly. Also, Papa B, another thing. You know, last week when we spoke about Jon Stewart from The Daily Show, who we both really used to enjoy back in the days.
Yes.
And because I was so bogged down with only paying attention to Hex content really these last 2 years, because sometimes it can be a full-time job to just stay afloat and up to date
Yeah.
with what's going on in Hex. I totally missed that Jon Stewart has a new show.
Oh, please wait, stop. Let me stop you there.
Oh, yes.
Let me stop you there. It's not good. It's not good.
The show?
It's the problem with
the problem
Jon
with
Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
It's
and I
not a
didn't
good
know.
format. It's not a good format, and you should better not know it. So don't know it.
But
Just
it's him.
breeze right past it. No, it's not.
No,
It's a shadow of his former
He's
glory.
the god of comedy, and
But
he
this
has
is not
even-
it. This
He
is
has
not,
an episode on
no.
FTX, which is brilliant.
Okay,
And
then
he
I'll
has
take a look.
one fairly recent one on the vaccines and how so much misinformation is currently spread. And I'm like, wow, how did I not know that this is going on? So
Yeah,
I will
I
binge
couldn't get-
watch some
I
of that.
couldn't get past the second episode. I tried to love it, and the first one was a
Oh,
dud.
you might
The
want to
second one-
revisit.
I will
because
revisit it. I'll give
the
it another
recent
shot.
ones is like
No.
Obama's speech in Pennsylvania.
I see. I get my daily show, my reminiscent of the Daily Show
From the
fix
old
from
stuff.
John Oliver now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the wit. I like John Oliver a lot.
Yeah,
But anyway,
he's nice. He's
moving
nice.
right along. So Richard thinks that it's going to be the staking thing. We're in the clear. Hallelujah. Go after those guys and clamp down on that
Clamp
bullshit.
the
And then
fuck
we can
down.
advertise that we can trustlessly earn yield over here. Dog
Nexo
one is open.
out of here. Next piece on my list here is Maddie's HexpoMiami.com.
Woohoo!
You guys may or may not want to support this. And from what I gather, the gist of this is that it's actually not a Hex conference, but it's a meetup, it's a mass meetup. So all the Hexicans will gather on the 18th of May in Miami Beach, Florida. And the kicker is that at the same time, the Bitcoin conference will happen.
I think it's at the Bitcoin conference for
Or
part
it's
of it.
at the Bitcoin. So
It's
it's basically to
planned because of the
show up
Bitcoin.
there
Yes.
and do a
Ooh.
counter thing and get some Hex branding going on the Bitcoin conference, which I think is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So have a look at his website. It's what is it? HexpoMiami.com. It's $99, but again, it's not like a conference setting. It's a meetup. So for this $99, you get some merch that you can flash at the Bitcoin conference, and you get the info, the lowdown in which dirty bar all the Hexicans will gather, and then there's various activities.
The bar will be clean. The Hexicans themselves will be dirty.
It's the Ocean Drive takeover, you know what I'm saying? So a group picture, of course, outside the Bitcoin conference center. It's going to be a fun event, I guess. There's different activities for day 1, day 2, and day 3. And then so the entry to the Bitcoin conference, that's the pricey part here, is $650 for that conference. So it's not the cheapest event, but if you're a rich Hexican and took some profits at the top, you might want to take part in this. And then the site, there's also a live stream where most of us here will be required to also do a certain performance on a live stream, which will happen
what?
we're in
Are
on
we
it
on
too.
there?
We are on there, yes.
Wait a
and
second.
I. And then it devolves into why Maddie is the greatest guy on earth. So check this out. So let's not scroll through all that.
Self-promotion.
At HexpoMiami.com, ladies and gentlemen. So
Well done.
get that covered too. And shout out to Hex Tangent. He was like really making an effort.
Oh my gosh.
And you
was
were on the
incredible.
space too, right?
I was on there for a lot, but Tangent, had this thing open for like 90 hours or something. He almost broke the record of cookies stream, which was ex Orca at the time. Yeah. that crept in, but kept it going as the head of this entire thing. He was the chair, the spokesperson, the host, if you will, to this space while we ran up arduously from 4.9 3.9 to 5.1, and actually went to 5.3 before he ended.
Yes, awesome. And but how was he awake all these? That's because that went on for like 5 days or something.
He took at first he took power naps, first 1 hour, and then it was 3 hours, and then a full sleep where he didn't elect a co-host, so he had 8 hours of silence. But other than that, perfectly done. Hats off the tangent, kept it going, kept the haters at bay. He debated like 5 really tough people while I was witnessing it. It was amazing. It's all recorded. You can relive history if you have 96 or whatever hours to listen
There's
to
some
it.
fun moments in there.
A lot of fun, a lot of punch drunk behavior, a few bong rips here and there. It was freaking great. It was like a party. Everyone came out of the woodwork. These celebrities that you haven't seen since they were gone to hibernation at the end of the bull run suddenly reappeared.
The winter sleep. Awesome. And last piece of news. Germany, a new pizza brand starts with Mario and Luigi, which makes sense. And also the homie Kim Jong-un.
Excuse me. Can you roll that back for a second? Can you roll it back for a second, please?
The Mario thing.
Yeah, can I see that? Okay, so I understand that they're Italian, and that's like culturally insensitive.
The pizza,
but I'll forgive that. What I won't forgive is the fact that I'm expected to consume something that's baked by plumbers that have not apparently washed their hands since like the 1970s. I can't get behind that. Sounds very unsavory to me.
What I don't like is that this is the fashion that they promote processed foods which are not healthy to young kids.
I like pizza.
Obviously,
pizza's a pass, man. Pizza has to be. I don't care.
Maybe not this one.
maybe not that one. No.
Maybe make your own fresh one. But it doesn't come with the nice packaging, doesn't it?
No, the green too, really. I mean, well, you could say that maybe. Okay, so there's green food, obviously, right? And there should be some kind of vegetable on your pizza, you would imagine, a bell pepper or something like that. But the purple and the yellow is like seriously off-putting.
That's like the Fear Käse Deluxe is German too, so yeah, there you go. And last but not least, North Korea has its own green rocket now. And on that note, I have no further questions.
What the heck is that? What? The green rocket? They get their green candle, they're going to send it, is what you mean?
When Bob's.
That's all we want to know.
When outro?
When outro, exactly.
Outro.